You're listening to the Comic Crusaders Podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more. What up, everybody? Happy Tuesday, and welcome to a new Comic Crusaders Podcast. I'm your host, Al Mega. Today, we got an awesome lineup of guests that are pioneers in the game. This is a podcast, of course, and I'm talking about pioneers in an audio drama podcast. You know, that's all the craze right now. Well, guess what? These folks been doing it for a minute. They're the pioneers. They're the OGs. Much respect to them. Their show is called Restless Shores. Oh, man, and it's definitely spicy, salacious, but guess what? In 15-minute increments at a time, you will definitely love it and enjoy it, man. I mean, they really put their heart and soul into it. So first, let me introduce the young woman that actually helped me put this together today, the one and only Marsha Hilton. Hello, how are you doing, Marsha?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for joining us. Then let me introduce the lead writer over here, the one and only Greg. Oh man, hold on. Let me get it right. Tulonen.
So close. It's Tulonen.
Tulonen. All right. I'm a name butcher. Sorry, Greg.
That's okay.
But that's the lead writer right here, folks. You know, the one and only. And then we have a creative consultant as well, the one and only. Well, she goes by Harley Quinn, apparently. So, you know, this is only for us to know. But I'm happy to introduce the one named Marla. How do you pronounce your last name? I don't want to even butcher this one.
Cukor, thank you.
Cukor, there you go. Okay, great. And of course, I have the one and only the man that's behind the directorial status over here, the one and only Thom Hinton. How you doing? Good morning. Wepa, what's poppin', people? I hope you guys had your coffee, man, because we got to get into everybody get ready, man. Get them pinkies up as you start taking them sips, because we're going to get into the story what Restless Shores is all about, folks. Again, these people are the OGs. So please, somebody step in here. Let me know. Let the folks know here that are my viewers, you know, what is Restless Shores and how far does this really go? Because you were kind of teasing me before, like 3 seasons. This goes way further than that. Such teases here. So give me a little history on Restless Shores.
Well, it all started when somebody was asking me what I was going to do next, and I told them that I wouldn't, and they kept pressing me, and I said, "Fine, I'm going to produce a soap opera," and it just never left my head. And so when I started looking into soap operas, I discovered a whole bunch of stuff about them. That back to 1969, the top rated, there were 19 daytime soap operas on television running. And the top-rated one was drawing 13.6% of the ratings.
Oh, wow.
When I first started it in 2018, they were down to, let me look at this to make sure I get it right. They were down to 4 soap operas and 0.69% of the ratings. So they'd really dropped off. But what also happened in 1969 was Shirley Chisholm, a Democrat, or a representative, a Democrat, I believe, in the U.S. House of Representatives, gave a speech she called Equal Rights for Women.
Okay. And
women started moving into the workplace at that time in larger numbers. And so what's happened to soap operas isn't because the genre is not interesting anymore. Nobody's coming to watch them anymore.
Yeah.
And being a more mobile society like we are, I thought, it'll translate to a podcast. You can't have the visual, but you can still have the drama. And I started working on that and building a team. And the rest is history. We had no clue what we were doing when we started.
Really? So how was that journey of you building the team then? How was that process? How did you select, and wind up working with the folks you're working with?
Well, that was panic-driven and scary. I had a really hard time doing it. Finding my first thing was to find writers, because I had to find writers.
Okay.
I couldn't have the show. It couldn't have any longevity if you didn't have good writing.
Okay.
And I read a lot of really bad scripts, looking for that. And I was beginning to, despair that I wasn't ever going to be able to get it launched. But has been the rule since the beginning. Serendipity stepped in, and somebody told me that you need to contact this guy. He's really good.
Okay.
And so I contacted Greg, and Greg was willing to do it, and wrote a script that was twisty and turny and salacious and intriguing. And, fixed the first couple of scripts that I had written and fixed them and made him his, and put him in his voice. So
Gotcha.
That was amazing. Finding the actors wasn't as hard as finding writers. Writers are a bugaboo for me.
Okay.
But luckily, I've again, serendipity steps in, and
Okay.
I've managed to pull together a team that I think is pretty good. It's
Fantastic.
moving forward there. But yeah, finding actors was easier. Finding a Russian actor was hard. Also finding somebody who was Hispanic was also difficult because we're in Maine.
Okay. We love the cold, but not that cold.
Yeah, and probably not for 6 months out of the year either.
No, absolutely not.
But finding somebody with a Hispanic accent was very hard. I wanted to have native speakers if I could, because, like you said, you make you sound like you're from someplace that you're not. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be as authentic as I could. But
thank you for that.
Serendipity. It's every time I was at death's door thinking this is it. Something popped up, and
apparently God loves Restless Shores too. He keeps stepping in. Like, wait a minute, no, I need to know what happens next.
Well, I did have one fan corner me one time and say, "What is going on with that awful bracelet?" Early on. So, and that
Too
was
funny.
something that and they were wanting to know what was going on with the bracelet.
Great. So, Greg, how did you feel, man, when she brought this project to you? Were you really in the game of soap operas? You were a big soap opera fan. A little bit about yourself, and then how you took on this project.
Sure. So I had done a lot of writing before this. I've written for short films and some plays and a web series. So when Marsha came to me, she had a premise, and she had a cast of characters, including a Hispanic character. That wasn't my fault, having to cast casting difficulty. That was in Marsha's original vision. And she said, well, see what you can do with this. So I started writing scripts, and Marsha seemed happy with that. And after that, she gave me quite a lot of rope to hang myself with. And just said, just take this where you want to take it. And it's been 3 years with a weekly show, week in, week out, a new show each week. So it's just been a ton of fun, just coming up with crazy new situations and just putting our characters through the ringer.
Yes. And how is the writing approach? Because it is an audio drama. Do you approach it the same as you would any other script and just chop it up accordingly?
Well, it's a little, audio is a little different. And I've been a fan of old radio shows since I was a kid. But there are things you have to think about when you're writing for audio. Like, you can't have somebody pull a gun, for example. In a movie or a TV show, someone pulls out a gun. Someone does that. Yeah. On a radio show, nobody has any idea what's going on. You have to make sure the audience can visualize everything that's happening, and not doing it in such a way that it's awkward, like saying, hey, why do you have a gun pointed at me?
Oh, no, it's a gun.
Exactly, right. So that's a challenge, but one that the actors are certainly more than up to, telling that story only through using the ears.
Well, gotcha. And Thom, how about yourself? Being the director of this, is this something you've also had experience with in the past, audio dramas on this level? I mean, how do you tackle this?
Well, Greg makes it pretty easy in that much of the script. Mine is off, so you hear it.
Yep, I will.
So Greg makes it pretty easy in that the scripts are written in such a way that he indicates to me what he's looking for sounds or what he's expecting, or the character needs to pause here before they say this line, or they need to be anxious or sarcasm or things like that. I think one of the big challenges for me is finding all the sound effects he puts in.
Okay.
But there are resources available, and if not, I've got a portable microphone and a laptop. I can go out and record what needs to be recorded. We do pretty well, and the actors are none of them are totally inexperienced. Well, that's not true. There are a few that are totally inexperienced. Some of the actors have some pretty good chops. They've got some credentials that obviously show through in the recording. But then again, there's 3 or 4 of them that need a little coaching as we go along. And that's the advantage with audio. I don't have to do sets. I don't have to do backgrounds. I don't have to do 300 retakes in order to get exactly what the writer has envisioned. I can give them a nudge and tell them, this is what I'm looking for here. This is what I want you to sound like. Have them read the line again. We don't memorize any of the lines. Everything is, we have tablets, Kindle readers that everybody works from, and everybody can see everybody else's lines. Everybody knows what the writer has intended, or at least what he's given me. Okay. And we can go through it. And if it's not right, guess what? Pause, record again, and off we go. Paste it together. So, and that's one of the advantages. We do an episode at least 1 a week, sometimes 2 a week in recording, and we can turn out those 2 in 2 hours. Okay. They're 15 minutes each. We get the actors in front of the microphones. We try as best we can with the restrictions of COVID to get everybody in one room at once, so that at least for that scene, everybody is playing off of each other. They can hear the comments. They can go forward. But it's really not extremely difficult, but it is sometimes kind of trying. COVID restrictions have made it very difficult. As we have here, we've got everybody on different cameras and different microphones. I can't do that very well.
Okay.
If I have to do it, then I have to paste everything together. And so my 15-minute episode takes me 4.5, 5 hours to finish up.
Oh, God.
Quite the challenge sometimes.
Yeah, editing is not fun, let me tell you. And over here, Marla, the superstar, I mean, she's attended a Daytime Emmy Awards several times and whatnot. I mean, what's going on here? So talk a bit about yourself and your part in the awesomeness that is Restless Shores.
I'm sorry.
You're on mute.
Thank
there
you.
We go.
I'm the newest part of the team here, and I have to, hands off to Greg and his associate Drew, who've been doing insanely creative, exciting work. It's amazing what they've been doing, and the stories are so fun to listen to, which is what drew me to this project, because it's everything that you imagine a soap opera to be, but it's such a more intimate form. You're listening to it, in your ears, and you're just totally getting involved in the storylines and the twists and turns, and I'm always excited to read and to listen to what's coming up next, because it's just I don't know how you do it. So hats off to you, Greg. It's amazing. So I'm coming into really big shoes to step into, and I'm grateful to Marsha and Thom, and I'm really excited. I'm a screenwriter by trade, and I've been doing that. And I started my career off in the daytime industry, working on as an entertainment journalist. And I love soaps, and I love the rise and fall everything about that genre. And like Marsha said, I don't think it's a dying genre. It's
not far from.
It's to be reinvented. And I think Marsha and Thom, in the great history of tradition of soaps, which were originally produced by families, the Bell families did Young and the Restless and Bold and the Beautiful, and Days of Our Lives is also a family affair. And it's just, it's in the DNA that soaps revolve around great, strong families. And I'm just so pleased to be here. So thank you so much.
You're so right there. Because let me tell you, my mother-in-law is a big fan of soap operas, right? But, on the visual scale. But she does not watch American soap operas. She watched, Middle Eastern soap operas, Japanese soap operas. I mean, that's like the ones over here are a little boring. Like, these are like intense. I was like... So what about so what really led okay, so were you guys fan of old school serials, right? Greg said you were a fan of old school serial?
That's right, yes.
So what about you guys? Did you also kind of do that? Because I know being a weekly podcast, you do leave off on cliffhangers and all that kind of goodness. So were you a fan of the old serials? Does any of those old serials inspire what you do now?
Well, I would run home from school to watch Dark Shadows, and then of course General Hospital. I was watching, in my youth, the Luke and Laura days of General Hospital, and I had to see it. I had to watch it. It was addictive. You needed to follow that, and I thought melodramas have been popular since the 1800s. You see, melodramas going on with these, little books that were written during that time that were just filled with peril and plot twists and things like that. And it's just a cool genre, and it's a uniquely American genre too, which is interesting. It's something that is unique to this country, and other countries have picked up on it because it's,
of course. And as you know, the Latino community picked up. ¿Cómo va a ser mi amor? How dare you? Yeah. I mean, novelas are big. My mom grew up. Again, me growing up, my mom was watching novelas. My uncles, that was their thing. Of course, in the Spanish language, all that big drama in that height of the '80s for sure. I mean, everybody was all about it for sure. It was insane, that fandom. I mean, I remember seeing soap opera digest on every bookshelf in the supermarket and whatnot. Does that still even exist?
Yes.
It does? I haven't seen it in a long time. Awesome. So,
and there are also several podcasts that are along the soap opera digest format of let's talk about what's going on this soap opera or that soap opera or this actor and that actor.
Have you guys shown up on any of those types? I mean, you guys are OGs. No respect to the OGs. You keep trying, but it's coming, girl. It's coming, team. No worries about that.
I think what the problem may be is soap operas are declining, and not because of the genre, but because of the circumstances. But you got this upstart podcast coming along saying, hey, we need to play with the big boys. And I think there's some resistance to that. I really think that they're like, who are these guys? And do we need to worry about them? So I think there's a little bit of resistance there. But we've got some really good local press from the newspapers and some television and stuff like that. So we've had really good reception in other places, but when I try to reach out to, the soap opera magazines out there or e-zines, they ghost me. I hear crickets.
They usually don't understand the podcast. We'll wait till some big celebrity crosses over and has a couple of hit soap operas. All of a sudden, hey, this is the craze. But then you could tell people, listen, we started this, all right? Boom, we're the OGs. So in this 3-season journey that you guys have had thus far, what has been your most favorite moment of Restless Shores? The most shocking, the best, the one that maybe put you to tears, or the one that made you jump with joy?
Well, we've talked a lot about our actors, and rightly so, because they're the ones who carry the day at the end of the day. And one of the advantages of an audio soap is we can have actors who double up or triple up or quadruple up and take on various roles. And our actors are so talented, they can change their voices in such ways that you'd never know that you are hearing the same person playing different roles. And we have one actor who is not in our main cast, Josh, who has come back again and again and again. And my favorite thing to do with Josh is to kill him. So
really?
So I've stabbed Josh and I've blown him up and I've shot him and I blew him up again.
And he's coming back as a different
sure.
voice.
He's a glutton for punishment.
Awesome. Oh, man. Is it a reincarnated version of the previous character?
No, it's totally different characters every time.
Too funny. Oh, he's basically your Kenny.
That's right. Yeah,
I'm Kenny, but it's different characters and different voices. I mean, he's pulling off these different voices that is just ranging everything from a thick, I guess, New York, Boston accent, something like that, to European.
Oh, really?
And he's quite the talent.
You guys must have a lot of fun with voice acting team at times. I can't imagine the behind the scenes footage.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of laughter when the guys are all in the room together. Of course, with COVID, we had to stop that, and it didn't happen. But I remember Thom saying one time that our living room floor creaks with the weight of the talent on Tuesday nights.
Yeah,
because there's some very talented people that are in my living room.
See, but you guys were able to, transition during COVID, though, and continue in the process, right? It wasn't an easy navigation to steer that way and put it together, or was it another learning curve?
It was a close call, is what it was.
Okay.
I was working and paying the cast and crew with my wages from the job that I had. Because I believed so much in the show that I felt like it needed to, and I felt like my staff needed to be paid. And
cheers, wow.
And when COVID hit, I needed to quit my job because my mother lives with us and I was worried about bringing COVID home to her. So I quit my job and told the cast and crew we're done.
Wow.
I told Greg, write me an ending. We're done. Yeah.
You did too.
He did. He wrote me a really good ending. I really liked it. But it broke my heart to tell everybody, we're done. We're just done. I can't do this anymore. I can't pay you, and I'm not going to take advantage of your talent. You guys, I'm just not. And they rebelled. The cast ganged up on me and told me that they'd work for free, including Greg, who, was really pounding the bricks. And they would work for free to keep the show going. So they're all volunteers now. And I'm working hard, and Marla's helping me, trying to get another funding source so that I can pay these guys. So it almost ended there. And then we were looking at having to hire more writers, and I just wasn't having any luck with that. And I thought we were going to have to end the show again. But like I said, serendipity stepped in. And
hey, get that Patreon going. Put the seasons 1 and 2 as Patreon exclusives. Only release episodes 1 and 1 of each season to the public for a taste. And then release season 3. Once season 3 is done complete, then it goes back to just Patreon exclusives. But people that pay, there you go. That's a resource avenue for you guys right there. Come on now.
We're working it.
I'm a fast thinker over here because I definitely wouldn't want to see what you guys have worked so hard on go anywhere. You guys are pioneers in this. Again, coming from the comic book side, what interested me was that you have this audio drama, and I see comic book companies doing that. There's a Wolverine audio drama going on. You got this whole Wolverine story that's chopped up into like 6 episodes and whatnot. You get a Thor story. You get so many different things along that very same vein that you're doing. So kudos on you for actually even being ahead of the game there. So we got to find these avenues, folks. So what social platforms are you on right now?
We're not on a lot of them because, I had one person I talked to about helping me with marketing saying that I didn't understand social media because I'm a baby boomer. And that was kind of insulting.
That's horrible.
I was just like, okay, but so help me understand it. And she just really wasn't helping me understand it. She was just saying, "You're just not going to get this."
Ew.
And
how dare they?
well, she was very young. She was just very young.
No, one day she'll be in those shoes. Well, it's gonna happen. Karma's a bee. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're working. Marla's helping me to understand that and work on
Beautiful.
the social media piece. And
good on you, Marla. Yeah.
We're on Facebook also, so you can check us out over there and like the page.
You gotta get your Twitters, your Instagrams, your merch, your YouTube. Get out. Do those TikTok. Do a little snippets on TikTok and of the cast recording and tease people new episode dropping. I mean, so much you guys could do, because again, you guys deserve it. I mean, come on, 3 years doing this. Again, and Thom, I hear you're a trivia quiz. Is that true? And also, thank you for your service. I understand you've had a Navy career, so thank you for what you've done. And you're on mute. You're all on mute, apparently.
Well, yeah, a little bit.
There you are. Yeah. So, what is it? Where do you get that trick of memorization from? Is there any maybe healthy habits that you're into, or is just something natural? I gotta understand here, because I hear you're a whiz, a memory buff.
I don't know that there's any particular trick to it, but for whatever reason, little pieces stick, and I can't get rid of them. It's that hard drive that you never delete anything off of, and
gotcha.
Somewhere it's cataloged in there, and I, for whatever reason, I'm able to pull it back up and put it out there. For instance, Greg was talking about the radio serials, things that he listened to, and what popped into my head was Drummond. A Detective Drummond was an old radio serial that I used to listen to, and I'm going, goodness, Greg, we're old.
Yeah, when you think about stuff like that, heck yeah, because my dad was telling me that when he was a kid, he used to go to the movie theater and watch the Shazam serials, and then the Republic serials. So I found it for him on one day and showed him. This dude was like, oh my God. That was the first time he did not fall asleep watching something. And I was kind of, weirded out, because he was always making fun of me for liking my geekdom. And here he is geeking out over his own old stuff. I'm like, you hypocrite in my mind. And Greg, I see you're kind of a geek yourself, man. What's this, just before the war with the robots, short films like on Country Road? What's this? Nonfiction, webcomic, actual conversations. You finagle comics, don't you? What's popping there?
Yeah, I've written for a few comics. I have an online webcomic called Actual Conversations with My Sons, which is exactly as it sounds.
Really?
Actual conversations with my kids that were illustrated by an illustrator in California into comic strip format. So that was a lot of fun. It ran for like a few years, and it preserved conversations I had with my kids from the time they were about 2 to the time they were about 13.
Oh, wow.
After that, I gave them their privacy and said, okay, we can keep it to ourselves.
So that last place reads closed door, no parents allowed.
That's right. And I also write a vampire comic book called Night is Falling. And that's an ongoing comic book. And it takes place in Maine in 1977, a group of kids who discover that a vampire has come into their town. It's the summer that Elvis Presley died, which becomes important to the story.
Oh, interesting. Oh, cool twist. We got to have you on one of the comic book shows and chat about that, because we definitely support all types of independent production here on Comic Crusaders. This is what we do, for sure. And Marla, I got to ask, how is it to hang out at those daytime awards? And what was the biggest highlight that you've had? What was like the biggest, maybe star moment that just left you floored? If you've had any.
That's a great question. I really enjoyed meeting the actors, and they're just real people when you get to meet them in person, and the writers. I'm a writer, so I always intrigued by writers because I think they're really interesting, creative people, and they're, they have all these worlds going on in their heads that they don't exactly. I know for myself, I don't exactly live in the same world that the rest of the world lives in. I'm already starting to think about, I live in the town that Restless Shores takes place. Is called Galmont Point.
Okay.
And that's where my head is. I'm thinking about living there and what it's like, and where I hang out. And so it's really cool to be part of something so exciting that it becomes part of people's lives. And like you were saying before, Al, fans love their soaps. Whether it's like telenovas, American soaps, they are the most devoted, loyal, rabid, audience base that there is. They are, they're just awesome people, and it's such an honor to work in a genre where the audience that listens to what you're creating is so vested in it and really cares. And if you do the wrong, make a misstep, or you take their favorite character in a direction they don't like, or create a couple they don't like, they tell you, and it's really rewarding to that kind of just like in comic books and graphic novels, people are rabid about that stuff. They know the storylines, and they know if someone is acting out of character, and what their superpowers might be, and what they where they've lived, and who they've been. And it's kind of a heady thing to take on. And again, I applaud Greg, because it's to create this world and make it so realistic, and then have people vest their time into it is really it's an amazing honor. So it's fun. So I in some ways, meeting real celebrities kind of pales in comparison to like creating these alternate worlds that these characters live and breathe in. So they're both kind of exciting, but I prefer to be on the writing end.
I gotcha. That's amazing. And again, I like how you pointed out with the comics and all. At the end of the day, comics is just that. It's a soap opera. It is an adventure. Yeah, we saw it as an adventure. It looks cool. But folks, we're getting so invested in stories that people get angered about. It's a soap opera at the end of the day. It really is. The soap opera of Superman, of Batman, all that. Those are all soaps, folks. So you see, folks, you've always been undercover soap opera fans. Y'all guys didn't even know. I love it. So what else do we have to look forward to for Restless Shores?
Well, Drew, who is my co-writer, and we are planning our exit. We are, after 3 years, it's time for me to hand over the reins. So what we are doing is we are writing the shows for the rest of the year. So there's plenty of room for people to play with, that Marla can pick up the reins and take it where she wants to go. So Drew and I are right in the middle of a marathon writing session right now, taking the show to episode 150, which will take us to the first week of 2022. And after that, it'll be up to you guys. So I have been teasing the cast a little bit on Facebook, little snippets like I'm working on episode 143 right now, and it's not good news for you, Uriah. Things are looking bad.
Like, no, don't kill me. Excellent. I mean, that's amazing. I can't wait to see what else happens here. I mean, good luck on what you do afterwards, Greg. I mean, are we still staying in the soap world, or more in the writing world, more comics, animation, a movie? What are we getting?
Night is Falling is still ongoing. I have a short film called Derrick and Boyd, which is premiering next month in Massachusetts, and then some festivals after that. Yes, I just had a play that was produced last night over Zoom. So I've always got something going on.
Busy, man. Jeez. What about you, Marla? What you going to be getting into?
Well, I'm really going to be devoting, a good amount of time to working on the next season and working with. We have a team, as Greg said, him and Drew are exiting, and we're entering the building. I have 3 really talented writers that are coming aboard the ship, the Restless Shores ship, and we're just kind of right now planning out that 4th season, and we're really excited to take it to some new crazy heights, and it's going to be great. So
yay. And so I can't wait. Yeah, because folks, this is OG. Definitely check it out. Show the love. I've been showing off the website. I mean, this is where you could definitely check out what they're all about. And now, if we wanted to follow you socially, where can we do that?
We have Facebook. I'm getting feedback.
Go ahead.
We have a Facebook page, and I'm starting to do Twitter.
Okay.
And I'm on LinkedIn. So the best place socially to contact us right now, though, is Facebook.
Okay, there you go.
Contact us through the website, and listen to us wherever your favorite podcast host is.
Yeah. So where are we at for podcasts? So is it on app? It's on Apple and everywhere. Beautiful.
Everywhere.
And what's the frequency? Let people know when does the new ones drop, and where can they get that catalog?
They drop on Thursday nights at
Thursday
midnight.
nights at midnight. Ooh, keep us up late.
They're only 15 minutes, so you can listen to them on your commute home. You can, listen to them while you're quieting that baby at 3:00 in the morning.
But they are really addicting. So give yourself some time, because if you haven't listened to the show before, you're going to want to
find a lot of people. In fact, I forget where it was, but somebody was binging. We can tell when somebody binges because we had 111 downloads last week from one town. And, I'm like, yeah, somebody found us.
Yeah, a new fan. Oh, and another thing, do you guys do any, on-site stuff, any conventions, any places where they could even meet you guys?
Not yet. We haven't stepped into those waters yet. It's been quite a ride for us, and it's been a learning experience. One of the things that I've learned, lessons learned, I've learned a lot of them, because when we started this, we had no clue.
Okay.
None. But I learned that you need more than one writer if you're going to run a series that's going to go a long time. I think we nearly killed Greg. And we really need a writing team for that. And if somebody's going to pursue doing podcast theater like we have, you need to factor in a writing team, because one guy, even though he's brilliant, isn't going to be able to carry it for the life of the show. I had no idea that we were going to last, 3 seasons, and here Marla's, drafting out the 4th season for us.
Wow. God bless, man.
Gonna go. And it's addictive. So the other thing is I'm, considering starting up another drama.
Another one.
Yeah.
Is it going to be a spin-off from a character or something completely fresh?
It's actually something completely different. When I talked earlier about, and you're the first guy I've told this to.
Yeah, scoop.
So soap operas are very, very American and occupy one side of the scale. On the other side of the scale is the other very American literary form, and the hard-boiled, noir detective.
Oh.
And so I'm standing up one called Seamus. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going back into, do you know what the Gutenberg Project is?
Oh, no, but if I ask one of my homies from Comic Crusade, his name is Chris Buse. He is a noir fanatic. He's from Germany. Noir fanatic.
Well,
and he's writing a book himself.
Contact me, but I pulled pulled several down off of that project, and they're copyright free, and I'm taking them and updating it for
really
this series. But I'm also going to put links to the original book and information about the original author on the website, so that people can actually go read that, so that we don't lose that genre.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we shouldn't. It's a great genre. Great genre. I mean, in comics, it's definitely something that's picked up, because people are getting tired. Not that we're getting tired of superheroes, but our stuff does so much more different things. And again, we have original noir characters, Shadow. Batman, all that good stuff. Batman is originally noir. Yeah. People don't understand. He had a gun. He was shooting dudes. He was the killer at one point.
Yeah,
Detective.
and it's I'm calling it Seamus. And the PI is actually named Hunter James, and it's spelled differently, but James in Scottish is Seamus.
Okay.
So, I kind of made that connection there, but it's noir detective. And
cool.
I'm trying to stay as true to the form as I can. And I'm using these great old noir detective writers from the 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s. And hopefully I can highlight their work, as well. And
Kudos.
I'm looking to launch that in January. I've started casting for it now, and we'll probably go into production in September. But you're the first person I've told that to.
Oh, nice. So what if somebody, that's great. So here we go. Thank you again for giving us that scoop and good luck on that. So, with that then, since you say you're going to start that casting, if people wanted to get involved, when should they look out for casting if you're looking to record in September?
Yeah, they can go on the website and contact me. I also have a little website set up for Seamus. It's hardboiled _. Let's see, what is it? I have to look to see what it is. Hold on just a moment. No, I don't remember what it is. But it's, there's that website is set up, and I think it's hardboiled Seamus.
Okay.
Hardboiled _Seamus. But they can go on the Restless Shores website and contact me, or they can contact me at rs@newmeadowsmedia.com and tell me they're interested in Seamus. And we can go forward with that. And if somebody has a book that they've written that they'd like to have translated into a script for this character, they can certainly contact me with that information.
Ooh, look at that. Come on, Indy Forest, listen in right here. All right, good stuff by a great group of creative people. Guys, I just want to thank you so much for hanging out with me today for a bit, letting our fans know what Restless Shores is all about, the journey, and great advice about definitely please more than one writer. Poor Greg. Look at that. That's how his beard turned white, apparently.
Hey, it really is. I was a young man when this started.
Thom, thank you. One day we should have you on and challenge you to Trivia Pursuit and see how great that trivia mind of yours is. No? She says, no, don't
terrible.
do that.
He's awful to play with.
And Marla, thank you again for taking some time out. Yo, good luck on taking over those reins, man. I can't wait to see how you now form this wonderful universe that is Restless Shores.
Thank you for having us on.
Yeah.
No, this was fun, man. You guys rock, and I learned a little bit about here. But again, we all love our soap operas, apparently, comics, TV, podcasts, all we do. But these are the OGs on the soap opera front, folks. All right, that's the realness. Again, thank you for tuning in. Once again, please take a look at their website, restless-shores.com. Contact them if you're interested in participating in the new one, Seamus, a noir audio drama. Dude, it sounds really interesting. I can't wait, actually. I'm like, my mind is now going nuts over here. I'm frazzled by it. I'm like, ooh, wait a minute. There's so much potential there. Can't wait. You are a pioneer, Marsha. Thank you. You truly are. Thank you for your time, Greg, Thom, Marla. Have a blast. Bless up. Continued success. Forward entrepreneurs, always. And folks, thanks for tuning in. You know what to do. Hasta la próxima. Talk to you guys later. Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.com and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also, make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.